Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube video, and today I'm recording 5070/22 past papers of May-June 2016. In the previous parts, I have solved all of these questions from section A, and we did all of this in part 1 and 2. You can check them out. I'll put the link in the description below. So today we need to continue from question number 4 of section A, which says sulfuric acid is manufactured by contact process. State the conditions used in the process. The conditions in the contact process are mainly for temperature we need around 350 to 500 degrees Celsius. For pressure we need 1 to 10 atmosphere. You can write any number. It's not important to mention the range, but you can mention any one number from it. Like you can either mention 1 atmosphere or 2 atmosphere or anything. And then catalyst we require for it is V2O5, that is vanadium 5 oxide. Alright, moving on to part B. In the contact process, sulfur dioxide reacts with oxygen. This is sulfur dioxide and it is reacting with oxygen, and this forms sulfur trioxide. Describe and explain the effect of increasing the concentration of oxygen on the rate of this reaction. If we increase oxygen concentration, that is the reactant side concentration, that means the rate of reaction would increase and there will be more particles, they will be more close together, so there will be greater number of collision. Thus, forward rate of reaction will increase. The rate of reaction is going to increase. Moving on to part C, the catalyst used in the contact process increases the rate of reaction. Describe one other advantage of using catalyst in an industrial process. Okay, so for this, it is because of using catalyst we can save time and we can reduce the cost of the entire process. So yeah. Moving on to part D, sulfuric acid is used to make fertilizer potassium sulfate K2SO4. Calculate the percentage by mass of potassium in this fertilizer. So relative formula mass of K2SO4 is, if we calculate, K2 is going to be an SO4. You need to take help of the periodic table on the last page. And here we get K2. Here we get sulfur and 4 oxygens, that is 4 into 16. And if we add all of this, we'd get, let's go back, the MR for this is MR is equals to 174. Alright, now this 174, we need to find the mass of potassium. That means we need to do it again, going back to the periodic table. Potassium is 39, and because there are 2 potassium over here, where did it go? I just lost the page. Alright, here. So we are going to do 2 into 39 upon 174. Because we need to find the percentage, we're going to multiply it by 100, of course. And our answer would be 44.8%. Make sure you write percentage to 1 decimal place if you are getting it in 1 decimal place. At least in 1 decimal place. Otherwise, if you are getting a whole number, so that's even better. Depends on the question. So this is 44.8% of potassium in K2SO4 fertilizer. Moving on to question number 5. The statements give some of the chemical properties of cobalt and its compounds. Cobalt does not react with cold water. Cobalt fizzes slowly with dilute hydrochloric acid. Cobalt does not react with aqueous zinc nitrate. Cobalt reacts with aqueous silver nitrate. And cobalt 2 oxide reacts with magnesium to form cobalt. Okay. So from this, the most reactive one is going to be, it does not react with cold water. However, if we look at sodium reacts with cold water. Okay, just because over here we got in words, so we're gonna write it in words. So it's gonna be sodium here, because it can react with cold water, unlike cobalt and unlike any other over here, any other element. Then if you look at the second most reactive, it fizzes slowly with dilute hydrochloric acid. Magnesium does a really vigorous reaction, so it's gonna be magnesium, second most reactive amongst all. Then if we see, cobalt does not react with aqueous zinc nitrate. Zinc, of course, it will be above. Alright, also if we look, cobalt reacts with aqueous silver nitrate, and cobalt 2 oxide reacts with magnesium to form cobalt. So we can also say that there is no such reaction of silver mentioned over here. Silver is like the slowest of all, so we write cobalt here, and then least reactive amongst all of this is gonna be silver. Alright, so this is it for this part. Moving on to part B. Construct the equation for the reaction between cobalt 2 oxide, COO, and magnesium. Okay, so for this it's going to be COO plus Mg, because it's reacting with magnesium, and as said over here, cobalt 2 oxide reacts with magnesium to give cobalt. So first of all, we can see that cobalt is formed. Alright, so here cobalt is formed, and then the rest of it, that is Mg and O, magnesium oxide. Alright, all of this is like 1:1 ratio because it's balanced. Then moving on to predict what happens when cobalt 2 carbonate is heated strongly. That means decomposition reaction will take place, and CO3 would decompose to, of course, CO2. Alright, and it will be its oxide, that is cobalt oxide. Alright, so this is how we're gonna do it. So moving on to part D, cobalt has a melting point of 1495 degrees Celsius. Explain in terms of structure and bonding why a metal such as cobalt has a high melting point. You may use a label diagram in your answer. So you may use a label diagram in your answer which is going to support that, but in case you do not want to use, you can skip it. But always remember, diagrams help and support your answer. So again, the question says that explain in terms of structure and bonding. That means you can show how it is bonded. We can simply talk about the sea of electrons around cobalt because it's metal, and we can talk about the cations and all. and we can add a bit of description about it, that they have delocalized electrons and they have a sea of electrons which has strong electrostatic force, and this is how strong bonding is formed and melting point is greater. Moving on to part E, that is the symbol for one of the isotope of cobalt is CO5727. Another isotope of cobalt has a nucleon number of 59. Write its symbol. So for this, because it's an isotope, that means that CO proton number is always going to remain same. Alright, 59, write its symbol. Alright, this is gonna be same, however, because the AR has changed, so we're gonna just change the AR part. Alright, so 57 will become 59 now. That is all that you have to do in this. And this is it for this video. We did question number 4 and 5. Make sure that you subscribe and ring the bell icon so you can get updates. Besides it, I hope you all study really hard. If you have any query, any issue, any problem that you did not understand in the video, or any request to make, you can drop it down in the comment box down below. And yeah, that's it for the video. Best of luck for your exams.